All right now. John Moses here. Fight Stories, September 3rd. We are kicking off season 2. This is just a little Midsummer Night's Dream about stage fights with Rich Vos, Donnell Rawlings, and from season 2, previously unheard, Andrew Schulz. These are, fights that broke out on stage while they were performing. Other comics, if you're out there and something similar happened, we want to hear about it. Don't be intimidated just because these guys are national headliners with careers. We don't care if you were stinking up a bar show last week. If you got in a rumble, we want to know win, lose, or draw. If there's video, even better. Ladies, if you're out there, if some drunk cocksucker socked you in the tits, we want to know. Send it on in. Also, we are going to be live in Delhi, Ontario, speaking with former New York Ranger, Pittsburgh Penguin, Chicago Blackhawk, Ryan VanDenBussChe. VanDenBussChe, for those of you who don't know, knocked another guy out of the league. It's just bleeding on the ice. And these were the good old days where instead of turning away from the fight, they did a close-up on the blood and said, children, you might not want to watch. So we are going to be live, and that one is July 25th, next week, next Thursday, Delhi, Ontario. It's a private event, so please DM us. And that is going to be on Season 2. We got a great lineup for Season 2. But right now, it's stage fights.
I know how to read people 9 out of 10 times.
Right.
So I'm not going to try to fucking go.
Yeah,
I was working a shit room in Pennsylvania for Scott Bruce. One, I'm working for a hack in a shitty room for one of the hackiest boat acts on the planet. Okay? I mean, it's, in my opinion, someone who's been doing comedy that long has not it's so unwatchable.
Is this
Just my opinion.
that does wisecrackers or something?
Yes. He stinks, in my opinion, with a capital SNT. Unbelievable. And whatever.
Yeah.
So, I'm working one of his fly-by-night shit rooms. But I was doing door deals and making good money.
Uh-huh.
They were like a 130-seater, but I'd sell out both nights. And I was making good fucking money. Thank God he wasn't hosting them.
Was this like right after Glass Comic? Or?
Well, it was a couple of years after, maybe 5 years or 6, whatever. I was still doing a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Still am. I'm not done, but and so I'm I remember doing one of his rooms, and downstairs he did a show, and my wife did it with him, and he hosted it. She came up and goes, "Ugh, unwatchable, unwatchable. You feel like." You might as well just take Dramamine and pretend you're on a cruise ship. So anyhow, I don't want to go after him.
This is the clip we're going to isolate and use to promote the episode.
I don't want to go after him because I don't even know if he's still in the business. He might be sick. Anything. I don't know.
Right.
I don't want to wish him any harm in life.
Oh, yeah, he's just a hack.
He's just a hack. Ugh, the worst. But this isn't about him.
Right.
This isn't about him. So I'm working for him, right? And I'm on stage, right? And I don't know who's on he's on the show, because if he was on the show, I probably would have just fucking blown my brains out going, ooh, just watch 20 minutes of that fucking dog and pony show. Yeah. But this isn't about him. Yeah. So I'm working his club. All right. I'm on stage. There's 2 couples in the front row. 30s, late 30s. So one guy is not looking at me. So early in the show, I said to him, I go, sir, if you're blind, thank you for coming, but there's no reason to waste the front seat. Can you just feel my face and go to the back of the room? So I'm doing my set. It's 120 people. I'm having a good time. I'm not going to fail. I know how to do comedy. Doing well.
Yeah.
So towards the end of the show, he pops up and goes, I go, you're not blind. He goes, no, but you stink. I go, okay, that's your opinion. I go, but we're 45 minutes in. did at 25 you think it was going to get better? Or at 30? Like, if I don't like a movie, I usually know it's time to leave.
Yeah.
Why would you sit through this if it stinks? So he throws a fucking drink at me. So I had a soda in a plastic, like a water bottle, and I threw it at him. And then he came running at the stage. So I just front kicked him in the face to stop him.
Yeah, like a push-off almost?
Yeah, like a push, but like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he fell backwards onto the floor. And then he got up again. I went, oh, no. 'Cause he was big. He was big. He was a big fucking dude.
Yeah.
So, again, I kick him in the fucking face again. And
Oh, he didn't even have his hands up this time, too?
nothing. He was just a fucking drunk. So you cut to 10 minutes later. He's in a police car, and his wife is standing outside the police car yelling, "You did it again." Like, but he fucked up my show where we had to end it and I couldn't sell fucking CDs after it. Because now, I'm not in this business to make friends. I've got to sell some fucking product.
Business, baby. I got a mortgage.
The old Donnell would be very combative when he was performing, doing stand-up,
Uh-huh.
on stage and off stage.
Yes.
But the new Donnell, especially after suffering a torn patella for trying to dunk on an 8-foot rim, kind of shies away from any type of altercations.
Yeah.
But there was a time in my career where it was like, as they would say in Brooklyn, let's get it popping.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a couple times I did get it popping.
Uh-huh.
For reasons that anybody would get it popping. I think this is what when I first moved from Washington D.C. I lived in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn, New York, you almost have to do something to get validated as a Brooklynite or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I remember I was doing a show. It was a little open mic spot on Brooklyn on Fulton and Lafayette, or one of those streets, Fulton and Lafayette. And I was on stage and I was letting the audience have it. Had a couple of hecklers and they kept on heckling me, and one dude, he just kept wanting to represent his barrel. He was like, BX, baby. BX, baby. I'm like, okay, BX, but we in Brooklyn all day, son, every day. Notion and Gates, do or die, Bed-Stuy, Brownsville, never ran, never will. Because if you ever spend any time in Brooklyn, you got to have all those. You have to say all of those.
Yeah.
And you can't say it, people like, you're not from Brooklyn. And he kept on yelling BX. And then he was approaching the stage, and I was like, this is not going to end well, son, fall back. And he didn't fall back. And he tried to jump on the stage. And when he tried to jump on the stage, I had already anticipated it going down.
Yeah.
And then my dudes were there too, so it wasn't gonna be a situation where I would lose.
Right.
You
So
know,
he jumped on the stage.
He tried to jump on the stage.
Okay.
Then when he jumped on stage, it was the prettiest. You know how you have that combination you practice in the mirror? You up mad about something, and you're in the mirror all day like, yo, then I'm hitting with a big, 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 blah, blah. Bip,
Yeah.
That's the DC sound effects. I'm hitting with a and he tried to jump on stage, and I threw an overhead right, and the sweetest thing about it was I still had the mic in my hand. So
it
I
picked
got
up
the
all the
sound
impact.
effects.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It was like, boom! And the best thing about it was
like the Batman. Bam!
it was like bam. Right? I hit him with an overhand right, and he was coming on stage, and he fell back, and I was coming off stage at the same time. By this time, people had started to break it up. But and I took a couple other swings, but when I hit him, I kept the mic in my hand.
Uh-huh.
So I hit him. This was the dopest thing. If you're gonna get in a fight, sometimes you lose where you are on your set.
Yeah.
But I hit him with an overhand right, and then went right back to telling jokes. I mean, I didn't miss a beat. And I'm telling you, I got so many chicks wanting to give me ass off of that. In Brooklyn, yo, it was like this, oh, shit, son. He a real one, son. He a real one. And I remember this one of my friends, good guy, and a pretty well-known dude in Brooklyn, Mateo, he's passed away. I remember seeing him maybe 2 months after that at another show in Brooklyn. And he said, son, word to everything, Brooklyn all day, Notion and Gates, do or die, Bed-Stuy, Brownsville, never ran, never will. You have to do that all the time. Right? He was like, yo, son, the realest shit I ever seen. He said, I've been following comedy for a while, but he said, the realest shit I ever seen is when you came on stage and you hit that motherfucker with an overhand right. He said, that's when Brooklyn fell in love with you, son.
Yeah.
And that's when I don't think I was, people didn't call me the mayor of Brooklyn, but for at least 2 years, I was it was a great story.
Oh yeah, right.
And I
yeah,
gotta
it
tell
made
everybody.
ripples. The story got to places before you did. Like you got
Yeah.
there, they're like, ah.
But it was just like, oh no, and it was like this. No, don't argue with him, son. He'll set it off.
yeah.
That was one. I had another one in Stanford. Well, you Connecticut, right?
I'm not from there, but I know a lot about it. Like I've played. I was in Massachusetts, so I played every little shitty town
So
up and
Stanford,
down.
You know, it's like it's kind of a seedy.
Yeah,
place.
yeah, parts of it. It's either really rich or really not rich.
Yeah, I was in a really not rich area,
Yeah.
and it was a show. And I don't know, for some reason, hecklers. I think hecklers think they could just fuck with you and don't have to deal with the repercussions of it because you tell jokes. You know, not to say I have hands. Not to say growing up people's like that motherfucker can fight. In fact, comedy was the reason why I didn't get my ass whipped a lot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like people can start a fight with you, but nobody wants you to give them a nickname for the rest of their life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they try to become friends with the comedian,
Who's
right?
heel?
Yeah, like you don't want to be Dick Sucking Barry for the rest of your life. But then I was in a spot in Stanford, and I was on stage, and some people were heckling, and they were going back and forth, and at the time I was selling CDs. That was my little hustle. So I gave somebody a free CD. This was right in the middle of heckling somebody. I said, I don't want to do this anymore, and I said, I want to give you this CD for free for being the ugliest motherfucker in Stanford. Right? And then a dude, he was with this other dude, he was with the other guy, he said, and I said, and I want to give you one because I don't want you to go home and say, I'm ugly as shit. Why didn't he give me a DVD? And then, as soon as I said that, the DVD that I gave the guys, they threw it. This guy threw it and it hit me in my face. And I still kept my composure, but it was like a bar stool right beside me. I was like, oh, so you think it's kind of cute just to hit a comedian with a CD? That's violent. I don't think that was a good idea. And right when I was saying that, he was looking at me. He thought I was going to be funny. And I grabbed the bar stool, and I hit him with I hit him with a roundhouse. Bloop! I love my sound effects when he fights. They always either bloop or something said, that's how black people always tell a story. Who the hell is something? What did he say? Something said, bloop! And it was like, oh shit, that's that Brooklyn shit, son. And this was so dope. And then like everybody, Sleepy Floyd, he'll tell you this story. He was there. Everybody shit, we was knocking tables over and shit. But the dopest shit was that our car was parked in the back of the club. So we met, and then we had ordered, this has nothing to do with the fight, but I had ordered some food to go, right? And it was so funny, right after we started the fight, right after I hit him with the bar, so I'm running in the back, people like, don't forget your food. They gave me the food. We jumped in the car. I was like, yo, we 2-0 with these fights, bro. But
Those are two great stage fights, man.
Yeah, but I mean, another one. This was in another spot.
You got a special.
I got a special
worth
fight
of stage
special.
fights.
No, this is true, and I'm not making this up. I used to do this spot. I don't know. Did you ever? I used to do a place called Poke Knockers.
No, I never did.
Poke Knockers in Brooklyn. It was one of the hottest spots for comedy, and it was a spot where all the most gangster dudes in Brooklyn went, and like some of them didn't like each other, but the night was so dope. There was so many chicks there, and it was so good that it was almost like everybody called the truce. We would go in here and get some ass and just keep it moving.
Pussy treaty.
Yeah, that's right. Until
Yeah.
the end of the night.
And I don't know what it is.
Out.
There's a ceasefire. In the
I go hard on stage. And I was messing with some people was giving me a hard time again.
Yeah.
And then this one dude, he was like, I ain't tripping off of you. I got money, son. And he just pulled out this wad of money, right? And started throwing it on stage, right? He said, I don't give a fuck about that money. I said, I guess he thought I was going to give it back to him. I said, you don't care about this money? He said, no. So I started walking around the audience.
And giving
it away to the women. And I know he was looking like, no, I was just joking, right? And then I went back on stage. I was like, what you going to do now? He said, I don't know. I don't know if this dude was, I don't know what his lifestyle was when he was in prison. I'm sure he probably did some jail time before.
Yeah, I'm sure the money in the prison was connected.
Yeah, it was connected some kind of way. And like for some reason, I guess he was trying to question my manhood, and he tapped me on the ass like, whatever, bitch. And I hit him with a two-piece. But at the time, man, our security.
I was just thinking about two-piece.
I hit him with a bloop, bloop, bloop.
How funny it is.
Yo, and then I hit him with a two-piece. But our security was so gangster in this spot, son.
Yeah.
And it was Brooklyn security. And all I remember was I hit him with a 2-piece, and then my dudes was on this dude. And before he got from the back of the club to the front of the club, he didn't have no shirt on. His wallet was gone. Gold chain was gone. Rings was gone. Everything, yo. They protected me and robbed him at the same time, son.
The first time I ever did Mocha Lounge,
Oh yeah, I've done Mocha.
we've done it together, which is a very famous comedy room in the black circuit in New York City. It's up on like 118th and like some famous black guy named street. What street is it? Malcolm X or
Yeah,
like Frederick
Adam Clayton
Douglass.
Powell, Frederick.
One of them.
Right,
yeah.
one of those guys.
So 118th and famous black guy, and basically, my first time ever going up there. I think it was my first time ever doing a hood room. I was just starting up comedy, and I remember I went up and I was kind of making fun of some guy in the crowd. And there's no real stage or anything like that.
No,
you perform in front of the bus station.
It's basically like
You're at a bar,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there's people sitting on like little.
it would be like basically performing in somebody's living room that is jam packed and serving alcohol.
Yes, yeah. NBA
know,
playoff games.
people
on
are
the TVs
surrounding
all around.
you.
Nobody's
Yeah.
paying attention to you. Like you're competing with very entertaining sports. So I'm on stage and I'm just kind of like making fun of some Puerto Rican guy, and I'm not funny. Like at the point in time, like I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just trying to like establish some sort of rapport.
Sure, you're swimming.
Exactly. And he didn't really like it that much. And he walks up to me, and he's in front of me, and I'm in front of him. And it's okay. Everybody's allowing it because there's no stage. They don't know if he's going to the bathroom. They don't know whatever.
yeah.
He's just standing in front of me, and I'm like, what's up, man? And he just punches me right in the face.
Oh, fuck.
Wow.
Yeah. So they grab him. They grab me. They tear us apart. They kick him out.
Okay, so you gripped onto him after he hit
Oh, of
you.
course. Yeah, yeah. He didn't
Uh-huh.
drop me or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But you see I got an ego still? You didn't knock me out. What was that guy who plays for the Blue Jays that got stuffed? What was his name?
Batista?
Yeah, Batista. He's like, yeah, he wasn't strong enough to knock me down. So shut up. He rattles your knees, bro. You're doing Dougie. So he goes, so the guy punched me in the face. They grab him immediately, grab me, separate us. They throw him out. And I remembered Smokey, who's the guy who runs the show.
So funny.
I remember he just hands me the microphone and goes, all right, bro, keep doing your thing.
That's not the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to do 10 more minutes.
No, you didn't.
I swear to God, I had to do 10 more minutes in front of all these people that just saw me get punched in the fucking face.
my
Did you get a standing
Bro,
O after?
no!
You stood in there, white boy.
Bro, no, not at all, dude. It was, the black room was like, no, you gotta be funny. We don't care what happened. Like, earn this
No
shit.
excuses.
Bro, no excuses.
Sounds like
dude.
something that would happen at a rap battle.
Bro, literally,
Yeah.
dude. It was crazy. So, but the
You keep
coolest,
doing your thing.
he literally hands me by go, keep doing your
thing.
thing, bro. He did, and I'll be honest with you, that was probably the best thing that happened to me in comedy because I experienced the worst case scenario.